Namaste, my wonderful Aries friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Celine. I'm a counseling psychologist, a hypnotherapist, and an intuitive tarot reader. I blend both spiritual insight and psychological interpretation in my readings. Now, today you're not here by chance because the Spirit has something very important to reveal to you this week. So let's begin by clearing the space and releasing all the negative energies. Okay, so now I'm going to call upon and invite your spirit guides, your higher self, and your ancestors to be present during this reading. Now, the sound may be a little loud for some of you, so please turn down the volume. Okay, so let's begin. Now, I was told to start with an oracle card. This oracle card is from a wise witch. Okay, so let's see what message this wise witch, okay, has for us. So I have already shuffled the cards. Okay, one just fell, so I'm going to take that. It's called clarity. Okay, so the wise witch is asking you to have clarity this week. Maybe your mental state must be a little cloudy, probably due to some, overwork or a lot of sleep, or, you're overthinking, whichever it is. So what they ask you to do here is they want you to light a candle for clarity, illuminating the path to your desires. So, in order to have a clearer vision, okay, what you want to do next in your life, they want you to lit up a candle, and they want it to lit, so that will illuminate the path that you are manifesting, that you are desiring. Okay, so let's see what other messages that we are getting from the tarot. Okay, so I'm going to pick 3 tarot cards from here. Beautiful cards that you have here. Wow. Okay, nice. You have 2 pentacles, which is abundance. All right. And you have a major arcana, right? So the major arcana normally wants to reveal something very important to you. So in a bit, okay, in just a moment, we're going to dive deep into the reading and explore what other guidance the cards wishes to share with us. Yeah. Now, before I begin, my wonderful Aries, please remember this is a collective reading, so take only what resonates and leave the rest. Also, it'll be great if you can help me grow my channel by liking it, subscribing it, and by sharing the videos. So, let's begin. Now, let's start by looking at your major arcana, which is your Hanged Man, which is number 12. So, it's all about growth. Okay. Now, the Hanged Man, if you can see, it's not because they are hanging, the other way around, but it's all about, there is some kind of uncertainty that you aren't sure about your future. Okay. Probably that is why, the wise witch asks you to, light a candle, because there is a lot of lack of clarity that you're unable to see in your future. Now, Aries, you, all right, are very, by birth, you're very energetic, you're very determined, you like to overcome challenges, and you don't want to look, at back. That's fine, all right? But at the current moment, okay, I sense that there need to be some kind of waiting that you might want to do. You might want to reevaluate probably your career, your relationship or your finances. You might want to pause for reflection. Okay, you might want to pause for reflection. And once you pause for reflection, can you see the light is right in your eye? Okay, so that's where the candle comes in, right? So the candle, once you light up, it's going to brighten your mental clarity. And once your mental clarity is way more clear, you are able to see things in a different perspective. Now, I feel that you are very clouded and you don't know, probably maybe because this is the mid of the year, and there are a lot of things that you want to hurry burry, want to change. Probably you want to let go, but maybe you may want to take a breather here. Okay, you might want to wait because you feel like the future is very blurry, uncertain. Okay, I mean, that's okay, but try not to rush. Okay, try not to rush, because you being a fire sign, my wonderful Aries, you like to do things sometimes very impulsively. Now, I'm also an Aries, so I know exactly what it is. Now, the hanged man is the water sign, that is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So maybe you might want to deal with your emotions first, and listen to your intuition, and you will see your path, your future desires a little more clearer. Okay, so basically this card is trying to tell you to reassess your priorities, possibly let go of your old belief system. Maybe you're holding on too tightly of your belief system, so you might want to do some grounding. Okay, maybe you're battered out, you're everywhere, so you might want to ground yourself, so that your stability and your security will be much more clear in the near future. Okay, now also I see, because you are not letting go of the old beliefs, you might be holding on a lot of things. Like, if you can see, she is holding on to her purse very tightly to her chest. So number 4 is all about stability, it's about structure, it's about planning. Now, you might be holding on to your plans that you had made in the past too tightly. Maybe it is not working out for you right now. Sometimes we need to change our perspectives. We can't be doing the old school way, because the old school way doesn't really work. And one of the reasons I would like to highlight here is because we are now coming in terms with a different generation. Okay, the baby boomers are all really old, they are getting kind of old, and then the X generation are also aging. So you might be working with a lot of the millennials or the Y generation, and coming in touch with all this, Z generation. And, as I mentioned in my last videos, the Alpha generation is already 16 years old, the oldest Alpha generation. So you might be dealing with a lot of different generation, and the Z generation and the Alpha generation, their mindset is totally different from the baby boomers, the X generation, and probably, the Y generation. So if you're holding on too much, to your past belief, you may have a little problem here. And that is one of the reason, the wise witch asks you to lit a candle, so that you can see it clearly, and your path will be, straightened out. But if you're holding on, with all this old ways of thinking, old ways of possessiveness, probably clinging on. Okay, I see that you're clinging on to something, probably clinging on to a relationship that maybe you may want to lit up the candle and see it in a different light. Maybe you're clinging on to the job, okay, and only say that I want to do this way because this is the only way I know. Probably, you may want to have a different perspective here. So you might want to, pause a moment, do a lot of reflection, and see what you want to let go and what you want to keep, and see whether you want to ground yourself, whether you want to, reprioritize yourself so things will look way better in your future. Okay, now if you're able to see things in a different perspective, okay, and not hold on to what that you hold on to, you are going to be the Queen of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles is all about abundance. Okay, it's about having the luxury. It's about having the comfort. Your relationship is going to be, is stable. You have a very, successful career. Financially, you're very secured. So you are the queen, right? So the queen by nature, is very motherly. It's very nurturing. It's very caring. Yeah. Now, so if you're able to take a moment, now that is why, since major arcana is a very important thing that you might want to do. And very beautifully, I noticed that the card is right below the light, the candle. Okay. And light up a candle for this whole week. All right, refresh your memory. Do a lot of reflection. See what you want to let go. You need to let go of the old for the new to come in. You can't be having the old because it's becoming very stale in your life right now. So you might want to, clear, take out this hairband, and don't hold on too tight to this hairband and say, this is it. Okay, because you are missing, the opportunity that is waiting for you. All right. And once you're able to do that, you can see, okay, if you're able to let go and change, there's going to be more growth. Okay, if you can see, there is growth coming in your new ideas. You're not holding on to this. If you can see, it's very brown, it's very dull, it's very, not much color. Whereas here, if you're able to look at it, okay, it's green. Okay, now green resembles the heart chakra, right? It's more about balancing, it's about renewal, it's about healing, it's about transformation. Here you're sitting, under the sky. Here you're sitting with a lot of nature, abundance, and sitting, in a beautiful area, holding the pentacles, sitting calmly, not worried about anything. Here it looks like you're a little confused and you will feel very insecure, whereas here you feel very secured, right? So you might want to take a moment and do some reflection, and yeah, so probably, the few things that you need to reshuffle in your life. That's what I see. Let's see what are the things that you might want to surrender so that, your future will and your path will be the way you want it to be. Okay, now I just want to open this. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. And so are you a person that, like to please people, and your way of handling things in the past is holding on to, pleasing people? Maybe now it is not working. As I already mentioned, now you are coming in touch with the new generation. The new generation, the way they think, they feel, and they act is very different from the old generation. Okay, so let's see what the card is trying to tell you. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else be. Okay, let's read that again. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. So, very clearly, it says, in the past, I sense that you are always helping people and you might be neglecting, you are not looking after yourself. So that is why the Queen of Pentacles is about you nurturing yourself, you taking care of yourself. Okay, you come first. You know how mothers usually have no time for themselves, but it's always the children, the house, the husband, everybody, but not them. So now you need to take a step back, do a reflection, and tell yourself, like, wait, I think I can only handle this. For all these years, I've been neglecting myself. So now I'm going to please me. Okay. Me time. And I'm going to look after myself, and I'm going to focus on my own happiness. That doesn't mean you're selfish. Okay. If you don't focus on yourself, who's going to focus on you? Right? It's not always they can take care of themselves. All right. So you no need to make everybody happy and then you are sad. All right, you also need to know what is your happiness. What do you want in your life. Okay, put yourself number one, the me time. Yeah. So I'm also want to pull a card for you for an angel message. All right, I feel that an angel have a message for you. Okay, looks like this wants to come out. I am innovative. Look at that. I am innovative. Let's read that. You are a self-starter. You can start on your own. Number one, okay? You are a self-starter with very innovative ways of creating opportunity. Your determination and endurance are powerful and will help you get through rough times and reach success. Let's read that again, okay? You are a self-starter with very innovative ways of creating opportunity. Your determination and endurance are powerful and will help you get through rough times and reach success. So this is a mantra that you can tell yourself this whole week. I am innovative. Okay, I am innovative. I can invent my dream. I can invent my happiness. I can invent my wealth. Okay, you don't have to worry about pleasing other people, and because you please them and they are going to bring you happiness in your life, because you please them, they're going to bring you abundance in your life. No need. You can create this on your own. You don't have to worry about anybody. Okay, I'm also going to pull a charm for you and see what charm comes out that you can, look out. So I have, look at that. It's a beautiful red rose and with two beautiful green petals. Look at that. Okay. Now, the rose is a symbol of deep love. Okay. You need to love yourself deeply in order to have beautiful surroundings around you. Okay. And the red symbolizes passion, spiritual devotion. It's your soul's journey. Okay. The rose represents soul's journey and you connecting to the highest divine. Yeah. So the green is all about heart chakra. You need to open your heart up. Looks like I think you're very closed because your heart is always about other people and not you. You're very closing and that is why you can't see your path, your desires clearly, because it's all the desires is all about other people. And you're holding, things to your heart because you don't want to let go because you're afraid. All right. Connect to the divine. Open up your heart chakra, okay, so that there will be a lot of renewal and balance. Now, the red is all about your root chakra. Okay, you need to ground. I remember I mentioned earlier, in the start of the reading, you might want to, rewind and see, listen to it again. Okay, you need to ground yourself. You need to, once you ground yourself, stability and security comes your way. Look like there is a blockage in your heart and in your root chakra. Okay, you need to work on both of this chakra so that there is going to be, you're going to be the queen of pentacles in no time. All right. So, my wonderful Aries friends, this is your reading, and I truly hope you have enjoyed it. Now, the summary of this reading is posted at the end of this video, so please take a moment to reflect on it. Now, if this reading resonated with you, please let me know in the comment section below, as your insights might help others on their journey. So, until the next reading, I'm sending you lots of love and light. Bye.